Hello, everyone.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing today?
Hey, what's up?
This is a great day because it's a podcast day.
It is a podcast day, a day for podcasts.
A day for the most podcasting of podcasts.
Yes.
This is the Wrench Every Day podcast. We talk about wrenching cars and
Podcasts.
and other podcasts. Well, just this one, actually.
Yeah, just this one.
We love to reference ourselves.
Yes.
My name is Freddie Hernandez. You may know me as Tavarish. And joining me is my co-host, my partner in crime, and now Mr. Finn Gergens, Mr. Andrew Howell himself.
That's me.
How you doing?
I can words.
You can words.
Yes,
you
I
can
can.
words, and sometimes you can Finn Gergens. So I've been on a little bit of a kick lately. You ever get in one of these like funky moods and you just want to listen to one band or something? Like all you want to do is so I have listened to A Perfect Circle. They just had their new album, which
Eat
is
the Elephant.
Yeah, Eat the Elephant, which is good. I like it a lot.
Per your recommendation, I played it a little bit at work a couple days ago, and I have to agree, I was never really much of a Perfect Circle fan, or like Tool or anything. Like I appreciate their music, it's just never something that I've listened to on purpose. I like this new album. It's such a unique sound.
It's different. There's one that's like kind of very almost rap like, almost like hip hoppy. Like it's near the end of the album, but it's like it has a beat which is weird from that band.
Nice.
But yeah, it's interesting. So I listened to them. I listened to that album probably 10 times from start to finish, and then what happens with all good music is that you repeat it until you hate it.
You say that, but there are a few albums that I've been listening to basically nonstop for almost 4 or 5 years, and I still have not tired of them.
Sure. There are those, but if it's something new, and then it wears out its welcome a little bit, and then you come back to it a little later, and then you go, oh, I remember why I like this.
That happens.
Or you listen to it on another system, and like, I haven't heard this music, sound of it.
Because I'm hipster trash, I'll go out and get it on vinyl. And
vinyl is good because you have, it might be a warmer sound, or you might hear instruments that you haven't heard before.
It's an uncompressed audio format, so there's no loss in audio quality.
There we go. So that actually, for some reason, that brought me to Tenacious D. And
okay.
I don't know how that segue happened, but I was like, a band I haven't heard of, Tenacious D. Like for a while, I've listened to them long time ago. But when they had like Tribute and they had that Pick of Destiny movie. And then I started just listening to it on Google Play Music, where you can find our podcast, by the way.
Hey.
I started listening to them, and dude, it's like I watched the live video that they have on YouTube. The amount of energy that Jack Black has, and the amount of talent that dude has singing and playing guitar.
He and Kyle Gass.
Yeah,
both.
he and Kyle Gass too. But Kyle Gass is like he's great on the guitar. I think Jack is a little bit. He's not as good on the guitar, but his singing voice,
he kills it, man.
Yeah. So for the things he does, he hits those notes. He has a really good range, and for a comedy,
He's got perfect pitch, man. He's always on it.
For a comedy band, it's just insane. It is just like I saw an interview with him, and they said, "Oh, why don't you become like a serious band?" And then he said, "Well, there are enough of those out there. There's not enough Tenacious D's out there."
Yeah.
So he said, we'll just be a comedy. We'll make fun of the serious bands. But in doing so, they had like a legitimate band with a huge following, and they have really good songs.
Yes.
Like some of their lyrics are total nonsense. Like it just makes no sense.
That's why it's so good.
Yeah,
though.
it's childish garbage. But it's just like the melodies are great. Their harmonizing is good. Like the songwriting is so good. And that's what I've been listening to. And that's like when I've been working on my Lamborghini. Like that's all I've been listening to. So hopefully I don't get sick of that, too soon. But
for me, I've been listening. So okay, one of my favorite band of all time is a band from the UK called Tesseract. And they just dropped an album a couple weeks ago called Sonder, and I have been listening to that basically nonstop.
Right.
Ever since it came out, I got it I pre-ordered it on vinyl. I got 2 different versions. One's on white vinyl, one's on clear vinyl.
What's the difference between white and clear vinyl? Can you hear a difference?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. It's just cool as a collector to have different variants of the albums. because I'm a
I
nerd.
bought 30 versions of CDs that I can use for skeet shooting.
I have 3 versions of the Blade Runner soundtrack on vinyl because. But
one is a Japanese release. The other one has like a weird B-side.
no, they're just different colors. I have a serious thing for colored vinyl. That's my shtick. But
One is signed by Harrison Ford, but it doesn't really say Harrison Ford. It says Farrison Horde.
no, it says it's just signed it Deckard.
I'm not sure that that's what he would do.
That's his character from the movie.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I've been just spinning that nonstop.
So I've noticed that if I play songs that we're gonna come back to cars. We're gonna wrap this up in a nice little. Well, it's not gonna be nice and little, but it'll be a bow. It'll be a bow like you wrap on Christmas when you don't know how to wrap Christmas presents. That's what it's gonna look like.
I just use gift bags.
Gift bags.
I skip wrap. I skip it.
You know what? I like wrapping gifts, but it's just. Maybe it's a man thing. I don't know. I don't know any men who really rap well.
I don't either.
Like that's a real skill. Every woman I know can rap like amazing. It's insane. They have like these weird like folds and whatever.
My cousin, for instance, when she'll use striped wrapping paper, she'll wrap it in such a way that all the stripes line up on the folds and stuff.
My wife does the same thing. Yeah.
Hey, get a life.
Yeah, like, why do you have to measure, like take out an abacus or something? Okay, we have to.
I say that, but then I wash my car like 5 times a week and
sure,
constant vacuuming and
yeah, but having your car washed, you go to a car wash and have it washed. It's not a skill you acquire. You know,
sometimes I do wash it myself if I want to do like a clay and wax.
But it's like. There's one time you have to wrap gifts, or maybe like once or twice you have to wrap gifts in the year. But to have your skill level be that high, I think there has to be something, some weird brain, biology thing going on.
It's probably just YouTube tutorials.
This was before YouTube. Women knew how to do this way before YouTube. They have this incredible skill of wrapping gifts. I know my mom, my sister, and my wife, great rappers. My dad, myself, and all my male cousins, garbage, like absolute just dog crap at rapping. You know which ones are which because there's ones like crumpled ends and like this is where I gave up. Way too much tape. It's just wrapped all around.
Why does every gift look like that? That's because I gave up before it started.
Why does that look like it's a wound? It looks like it's about to bleed. Okay, so we're going off this.
Cars.
Hot rapping talk. Yeah. So we whenever you have a good song or a good album. Does it have the effect on you that you want to drive in a way that the album, like in that same vein? Like if it's a metal album, you want to be a little more maybe aggressive, or you want to be like if it's a electronic album or something, you want to be a little faster, like something like that.
Yeah. So for instance, there is a synthwave artist called Carpenter Brute, and Carpenter Brute has a song called Turbo Killer, and it is literally physically and humanly impossible to drive the speed limit with this song playing in your car.
It's the Turbo Killer is actually 5 minutes of anti-lag. That's all it is. You turn it on. Yeah, so that's all it is.
Can we start a new band called 5 Minutes of Anti-Lag?
5 minutes of anti-lag. We open up for Turbo Killer. That'd be the perfect opener. So that kind of music. When I was listening to Moondragon and Meteor, Moondragon is actually the artist that gave us the music for this podcast. It's really hard to drive like a normal human being.
Well, plus with Moondragon, he uses like jets and F1 cars in the background, and
one's called Afterburner.
Apex Predator is the song that we use for the intro.
Apex Predator. Of course you're gonna have to drive like a complete lunatic.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about Florida is that there are a lot of straight roads.
There are, and an overabundance of such.
Yeah, and you can get quite fast without actually putting yourself in danger because there's not around here. There ain't too many people. I mean, obviously you don't want to go too fast in a residential neighborhood.
Yeah, you don't be reckless.
But there's county roads where all there is like cornfields and not cornfields, but just ever
fields.
Yeah, just fields with cows in them.
Yeah.
For miles and miles, and there's nobody around. And the only thing you have to worry about is maybe like a deer or
Possum or raccoon or something.
Armadillo or something, right?
One of them dillers.
Yeah. It's just like a gator. We call them Florida speed bumps. Yeah, so those are great to drive to. I think there was some study that says if you listen to metal music, you're more likely to go faster, likely to more drive aggressively. So I've always wondered why that, what the correlation is.
Well, it's just like when you paint different colors on a wall. Like, for instance, you go to a restaurant, it's all warm tones. Warm tones make you hungry.
Really?
You don't go to restaurants and see blues, and typically blues and greens and cool colors. You always see warm colors.
I didn't know that. Why would warm tones make you hungry? Does like red make you mad? Is that a
red
thing?
is all kinds of things. Red is red is anger, red is passion, red is energy, red is focus. It's all of these different things. Blue or
red
green.
is brake calipers.
Yeah, no. But it's
Red is transmission fluid sometimes.
can be or coolant if you have like an aluminum block car.
Yes.
Use the pink or red coolant.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like red.
Okay.
Yeah. So
good for you.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that about colors. Is that a factor in cars? Is that a factor in like if you buy a car that has warmer tones and on the interior, are you hungry more often?
I don't know.
That would be. I mean,
for me,
how would you control for this?
The interior of my car is black, and I'm hungry all the time. Just I'm a big boy, and I just want to eat all the time. That's all I want to do.
Sure, but there's some things that like they're out of the range of testing here. Like, this is a foregone conclusion. There's so many variables here, but
yes.
I wonder if it's like, do people who eat more have cars with like beige interiors or like a warmer, what about 350? You know what? We can do an experiment. If you have a 350Z and it has those peanut butter interior, that warm interior.
And the baseball glove leather.
Yeah, that baseball glove leather peanut butter interior. Tell me how many times a day you eat.
Hey, how fat you is?
Yeah, how much you weigh, and how about this? How much you weighed after you got the car, and how much you weighed before you got the car. Yeah. And then send that to us in an email, and then we will put that in a spreadsheet, and then we will have a little PowerPoint presentation.
We won't. It won't happen. Don't
that
send that.
that
Don't
that
send
is
that
going to
information.
Andrew is going to have that in the next episode.
No, he won't.
All right. So yeah, I just had a little bit of a jag there. So I wanted to talk about the rally.
Yeah, doing rallies.
Yeah, doing rallies.
Doing rallies. Have a rally nice time.
It's not a really good joke. So have you ever been on a rally?
I have never been on a rally.
So when we're talking about rallies, for those of you who don't know, we're not talking about like
running through the forest.
Yeah, we're not talking about Ken Block rallies or Colin McRae rallies. We're talking about
these rallies don't call for as much sisu.
No, you definitely don't need any sisu. Nobody's gonna get. I mean, some people might get that.
If we have any people from Finland, they will understand.
Yes. Well, I mean, if they're fans of Finn Gergens, they will definitely.
That's in Norway, though.
Oh, yep. Where's Finn Gergens from?
Finn Gergens, that is to be determined.
I think he's Scandinavian for sure.
Okay,
but I don't think
time will tell.
Only time will tell. He is an enigma. Maybe he ended up in Scandinavia.
You need to watch your language.
Okay. Well, I thought this was going to be clean, but okay. So this is you've never been on a rally, and when I say rally, I mean typically it's almost an archetypal rich guy rally.
Yes.
So Gold Rush, Bull Run, those sorts of things where a bunch of rich people get their rich exotic cars and they drive mostly highways, sometimes very fast, sometimes like complete idiots, and then they go and get drunk in swanky hotel rooms and go to places like Vegas and just visit the largest ball of yarn or something, and then take a bunch of Instagram pics, and then they'll do it again next year.
The thing that I could not care less about the whole swanky hotel, getting drunk, blah blah blah. The reason I want to do a rally is driving, because driving is fun, and travel, just to get out and go see things.
Sure, yeah.
Like,
so I am of the exact same mindset. I didn't care about any of that hotel stuff.
No.
So on one of the rallies, I don't remember if it's Gold Rush or whatever. Actually, my Lamborghini went on. It had the full Gold Rush wrap, and it was supposed to go on this Gold Rush. I don't know if it actually did. I think it might have gone at some point, but before it was twin turbo and before it was like, you know, looked the way it did with all the fire damage. But on one of the rich guy rallies, they would take you to the middle of the country, somewhere in Texas, and then you would have to fly. Like, they determined that it was too far for you to drive in a reasonable time frame, so they would fly you, and they would put all the cars on the truck, all your cars and your luggage on a truck, and then they would fly you to the next destination. You would meet your car there. The next destination is like Vegas or LA or something, and then you would drive your car, you know, a little bit and whatever, and then you would do the same thing back.
It's so swanky.
It's stupid though. Like,
it is pretty stupid.
It's really dumb, because
that defeats the whole purpose of doing a rally.
But you want, the reason why they do the rally, and the reason why they do it on highways and stuff, is because it's all about being seen. They know that there are going to be people. They're going to be car spotters. There are going to be people like Stradman. Stradman started off doing stuff like this.
Yep.
And I think Stradman and F Spot Gordon, he is. They're in Monaco right now, and they're doing some car spotting. Their videos are actually doing very well about Monaco is apparently cracking down on the exotic cars, like revving and doing. I think they have like some rally there or whatever.
Nice.
And they're impounding cars for 48 hours. So they're making videos about like, here's the impound, and their impound is like, Monaco's a really, really small place.
Very.
So their impound lot is out in the open, and there's like Aventadors and like Bugattis and stuff like in the impound lot. So they stay there for 48 hours. You have to pay 300 euros, and then they you get out. Because, of course, it's Monaco. Just give me money and leave. But the rally that I went on, it's called a Dust Ball Rally.
Dust Ball.
Dust Ball.
Okay.
And Dust Ball Rally was made by this dude, Andrew Medley. And all he wanted to do, he didn't care about having exotic cars or whoever has the most money or whatever. He wanted to drive. He wanted to see the country. He wanted to engage people like, you know, car lovers and whatever. And he wanted to find the best driving roads in the country and the ones that nobody knows about. So those like little podunk towns that you've never ever heard of that have, you know, it's been a week since a car went by on that road.
Yep.
That's where you go. And I went on that rally a few years ago. It was from Dallas to New York. It's 2,000 miles. So every year they have it's called a DBR 2K, Dust Ball Rally 2000. Last year they had DBR 3K, which was from New York to LA.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was like 10 days or whatever. So I'm going on one this year, and I believe it's 2K. It's from Boston to New Orleans. And Andrew and his wife, they do so much scouting of roads, and they have like alternate routes in case something, you know, breaks down, in case there's weather, inclement weather, whatever. But these roads are magical. They are so good. When we left Texas, I don't think I can count on one hand the time we like had to go on a highway. And sometimes you have to go on a highway just because it's like there's literally no other way.
Right.
But the quality of roads and quality of turns, where you think that there are no turns, like they'll find them. And I remember we were going in, like, I wasn't driving. I was just basically riding shotgun with a bunch of people. But I was in a BMW E92 M3 with these guys, these younger guys. And I was sitting in the back seat, and we were going through the mountains of West Virginia.
Nice.
And West Virginia is like, this was, by all accounts, a hick town. Mm-hmm. Okay? This is a very, very rednecky place. It was very, like, kind of...
Just rural.
Rural. Very, very rural.
Keeping it rural.
Yeah. But we went right after it went. There was a little bit of rain, but after it rained, there's fog. But then we went into the mountains, and the fog was underneath us.
Yes.
So you see out, and like you see this awesome sea of fog, and these roads just like, I think there was somewhere like 20 miles of just straight mountain driving roads, and there's nobody on the roads. It was amazing. I'm like, that's the best piece of driving I've ever seen in my life. Like
Wow.
I'm sure that there's better roads out there. I mean, I've been to the canyons and stuff, but for you to just stumble across something like this, it's just awesome. So it's exactly like that. The whole rally is just like that. There's these crazy runs through cornfields, not through cornfields, but just like roads around cornfields. And every night there are 4 and 5 star hotels, but it's not. They don't host these crazy parties. Like if you want to talk to other people, you can. That they might have get-togethers, cocktails or something. But there are nice hotels. I mean, people do bring nice cars. There are some Lamborghinis. I was riding in a Maserati Gran Turismo.
Nice.
For one day with a doctor from Texas, and I gained huge appreciation for that car.
Yeah.
That car can perform with 3 adults and luggage in it, and it was very comfortable with me in the back. It's crazy, but I was also like, there's Camaros and whatever, and there's like regular cars. So one guy had a Volkswagen Jetta that he brought, and it was like I think it might have been turbocharged, like, or a 2.5 liter or something. But he was having so much fun. A Volkswagen Jetta. I was with a part-time school teacher in a Honda Civic Si.
Nice.
And he was loving it. And it's exact same experience. Whether you have there are people with a lot of horsepower, and for them sometimes it's like it's a race. Like I got to get there first. But they say explicitly like it's not a race. It's not a race. It doesn't matter when you get there. They also have like gimmicks, which is they don't tell you where to go. They tell you, like, they give you a list of directions, but it has nothing to do with like maps. It has to do with like stuff you see on the road. So it's like, okay, if you see this sign, go 0.4 miles after that, and then make stuff like this. Like you have to, so you have to have a really good co-driver, or else you get lost. Like if you give them a call, like you're like 3 hours away, like listen, you got to give us the GPS directions. Like they'll give it to you. They're not gonna leave you hanging. But it's so much fun, and there's you can win awards based on you have to take pictures of certain things and answer questions and whatever. it's really awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So if you want, I mean, I'm not sure if my friend is going. So I asked my friend in New Jersey to go with me, but he might be a little flaky on going. I'm not sure if he is, because he has to take the time off. But it's like a 7 or 8 day thing. I'm not sure if you want to go. If we can get that together, that would be fine.
I'm so down.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm taking the Lambo or something else. But it should be fun. I mean, the Lambo might get 2,000 miles. Lambo might get interesting. Yeah, especially if the lack of storage in that car.
Yeah.
But I figured something out with that car. There's actually if you put the top up, that top
the tray?
the tray, that's storage now. Except you don't want anything in there that is susceptible to heat, because that's going to get very hot.
So just clothes.
Yeah, it's just clothes, or like you put groceries back there, like, oh, it's cooked. Great. Save me a trip.
Great. I cooked my gallon of milk. I love cooked milk. It's my favorite.
My favorite. Yeah.
It's my favorite.
So, yeah, I'll let you know. I think we can definitely do it. It all depends if my friend doesn't go, because who knows. It's one of those things like, dude, I told my boss that I'm going to take off, but whatever happens. Like I'm going to be stuck holding the bag like 3 days before. It's like, hey man, my boss is making me work. Like, oh great. We've only been planning this for 6 months.
When does the rally take place?
This is at the end of July, early August.
Okay.
So it's like first week. Like I think we get back on August 3rd. So I was planning on going to Boston. I was going to pick my friend up in New Jersey, driving to Boston, and then driving to New Orleans. And New Orleans to here, that's a day drive.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. So plus I've never been to that part. I've never been out that way.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been to New Orleans.
Oh, wow. I have been to Louisiana. I have never been to New Orleans. I've actually been to 46 out of the 50 states.
We've covered this, but which ones haven't you gone?
Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, and Hawaii.
And Hawaii. I don't consider Hawaii a state, really. It's like such a different. It's like, okay, you have to.
It doesn't matter what you consider it. It's a state. So
No, sure, but at some point when you cross an ocean to get there, it's like this is a different country. Just culturally, it's a different country.
kind of the same with Alaska.
Sure, but at least you can drive to Alaska.
I have done.
Yeah, you're insane.
Drove from North Carolina to Alaska.
You are nuts in one sitting.
Yeah, in one go.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, took like 4 months. It's a 4-month vacation. But seriously, I did. I was a kid, but we drove from North Carolina to Alaska and made a whole bunch of stops in between.
Hold on. For those, I said you drove in one sitting, and you said, yeah, it took 4 months. I'm like, something doesn't add up there because it would take long. It wouldn't take 4 months straight. Like
that's why it's a joke.
Okay,
because it was like a 4-month vacation.
Okay, how long would it take to drive? I mean, Alex Roy would probably know. He's done like the Alaska to Miami or something.
I don't know. Has it been done?
Yes.
Miami to Alaska and back? It has?
Yeah, Alex Roy did it. That's what I'm saying.
He did it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Which Alex Roy is like, if you know of any weird record in America with a car, Alex Roy's probably done it. Like it's just something, just a record that you just made up. Like the fastest, down I-95 from mile 254 to 256. Alex Roy's probably has that record. So that's a long trip. Do you know how long it took?
Well, I mean, it's not really a fair estimate because again, we made a whole bunch of stops. Like it was like
but I mean,
the US
obviously, tour. No, obviously you have to make a whole. So over 4 months, you got to Alaska, or did you make it to Alaska and back?
Alaska and back.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I drove across the country in Matt Farah's Million Mile Lexus, and went from Jersey to LA.
Okay.
And that took around 7 days, but we stopped a bunch of places.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't think it was that much driving. Like it was, we narrowed it down to what I consider now to be like a minimal amount of driving. Now I am a seasoned, I am a road warrior at this point, because I do the trip to New Jersey and back like pretty regularly now.
Yeah.
So I just did that round trip like 2 weeks ago, and I don't even know when last time I did. But it's 17 hours, like realistically, if you have other people with you. You can knock it out if you got a good car in like 15.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can get it down to 14-ish with like a real good car. Like if the SL55 did it in around 15, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, they have really lax laws with their speeding.
Georgia doesn't.
Georgia doesn't.
Yeah, you don't want to speed in Georgia.
Really?
Yeah, no.
That goes against all my experience, sir.
Yeah, you've got real lucky thus far, but do not speed through Georgia.
Really?
Yeah. Don't text while you're driving in Georgia, too.
I never text while I'm driving.
Yeah, that's good.
But
I live stream while I'm driving.
That's totally fine. Like, were you texting and driving? No, officer. I was live streaming.
No, I was.
Say hello to everyone, Officer
By the way,
Jones.
By the way.
Do you have ideas for my podcast too?
All 3 of my viewers can see you.
Say hello. I do not consent. You ever see these videos?
Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
Sir, am I being detained? Under the Articles of Confederation, I do not consent. Have you ever seen these dudes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, they're so good.
It's so cringy.
They're so good.
It's so cringy.
So, for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, there are a certain subsection of people, and hopefully they'll likely be in the comments as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's certain subsection of people that think that they are sovereign citizens. And sovereign citizens means that they don't have to abide by any laws, right? And that means that they are their own person versus via the Articles of Confederation, and they are not driving, they are traveling, and they don't need to do things like pay registration, and they don't need to have a driver's license, and they don't need to answer any cops' questions. You don't actually need to answer cops' questions unless it's like, what's your name and your ID? Like that's they can ask you that. Everything else about what you're doing, you can remain silent, right? But like the preliminary stuff is like, who are you and what are you doing here? that you should probably tell them.
Yeah, without because you don't want to like escalate the situation.
Yeah, but what they do is they escalate the situation.
Yeah, on purpose.
And they always videotape it, and they always end up getting their windows broken and them dragged out of their car. And it is hilarious because the officer goes up to them, and it's funny because you can see the clear escalation here. Officer goes up, license registration and whatever, and it's never like you have a blinker out. It's like you made your license plate with crayons. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you can't have a license plate made of paper. And then all it says is, sovereign citizen. If you're reading this, then I do not. Some crazy nonsense. So it always goes from there. They go license registration. Like, no, I will not talk to you. And then, like, they have the windows rolled completely up. And they go, sir, can you roll the window down? Like, no, I do not. Blah blah blah. And then, like, after 5 minutes of this, like, the officer's like, okay, like, this guy's threatening to leave, and like, I gotta get him out of the car. Like, you can't have this. So then they breaking the window, and they always scream. It's so funny. I mean, if there are consequences, like I think like cops have gotten hurt from that and whatever. So like there's real dummies there, but just some of those cringeworthy videos are just it's so funny. Watch compilations of those online. They are hilarious. Yeah. Because it never goes their way. No. It never goes their way. The officer is never like, you know what? You have an understanding of the law, and I appreciate it, and go on with your day, sir. It's never that. There's always like a judge involved, and the judge goes, listen, I hear what you're saying, but it doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Like, I hear what you're saying, but you're wrong.
Yeah, like, no, you have no idea how any of this works. Like, that's not how the law works. And then, they're just screaming at him, and you are a cog of the machine, or some bull crap.
You bootlicker.
Yeah, you bootlicker. Why don't you goose step on out of here? Yeah. Yeah. So that's a nice jack. But did you have anything happening with your car this week? Yeah, anything going on? How's that wrap situation going? Were you did you figure out if you're gonna go with chalk or something else?
No, not really. You got to have expendable income for that.
You sort of got to have like money.
Yeah. So for now
it's black.
It'll stay on the back burner.
Yeah.
With all my other ideas.
Awesome. Well,
I still have that blow-off valve I haven't installed in forever.
Yeah, we should do that. We might be able to make a video about that.
If you guys want to see an install video of how to throw on a blow-off valve on a Ford Focus ST, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell to be part of the notification platoon.
Oh, it's your boy back at it again with another video. Today, we are going to be installing a blow-off valve in this Ford Focus ST. That's right. It's a 2014 by what?
No one wants to see that.
Too much energy?
Yeah, too much.
Okay. Too much. All right. So, what do you think is a good tone for something like that?
Hey guys, we're gonna do a blow-off valve on Ford Focus ST.
You want to make sure that you trail off and like, hey guys, we're gonna make a blow-off valve.
Hey guys, we can put on a blow-off valve and come with pressure from the turbo.
All right. Okay. So in the next episode, we are going to be answering your questions. We're going to be, not even questions. They might be suggestions. They might be certain topics that you guys want us to talk about. And we will certainly go on rants and jags and then talk about bans and and sovereign citizens and whatnot. So yeah. If you'd like to contact us and ask us questions, and I hope you do, you can do so at iwrencheveryday@gmail.com. We also want to see your builds. We want to see what you guys are working on. Maybe some cool cars that you got, because I love to watch me some cool cars.
Love to watch me.
I love to watch me. I love to see me some cool cars. I love to, yeah. I mean, it's not grammatically correct. But, I mean, when has anybody on the internet ever made a deal about being grammatically correct?
Me, every time.
Okay, so our Instagram and Twitter is @WrenchEveryday. And if you'd like to contact me personally, I'm at @TheRealTavarish. Andrew, where can they find you?
I can be found on Instagram @HeavyMetalFL and on Twitter @1565. The word 15, the number 65. Get at your boy.
holla at your boy.
Holla,
What?
holla, la, 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 la.
Holla la 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 la. So until next time, this is me, Tavarish, for Andrew Howell, reminding you guys, as always, to wrench every day.